Something that I learned was how our experiences in life can make us limitless. Don't get unattractive by the title because I don't know how to title this, but really like the title is not as comparable to the context. Because God have created angels in the way that He wants. So He created angels that works for God in a way that they don't disobey Him, that they don't want something except from what only God wants. They don't have desire, right? But a man, a human, God have created him in a way that although God created the human, but the human have a broader scope for control comparing to angels. And that explains why God is so loving, but at the same time he's so strict. He's so forgetting, but at the same time he's so what's the word? But at the same time, he's not at the same time. And people, atheist people, hear this and they say like, "Oh, it doesn't make sense. Like, religious scriptures are dumb as fuck. They don't make no sense." But really, they does. It is just that we are humans, and our sense of what is logic and what is not, it's just so limited that we cannot fully comprehend what God has said in the scriptures. Most Islam, Judaism, Bible, Salim Talum, these books and this stuff. But most importantly, although the verses that he gives they are so small, but they are so broader in their context. And the more that you read books and you learn and you develop yourself, the broader you get. That when you read a verse, you understand what it means. And that what happened with me when God says, "A man, the human is not like." I don't remember the verse in Arabic, but in Arabic it means أنه الإنسان وما خلق الله انسان الا استغفر الله. هذه ماشي ايه في القران، هذه انا كنقولها زعما كلعبه. وانه الله في المضمون ديال نص القران اللي قال فيهم انه الانسان وما طمح الانسان الا ما سعى. شي حاجه بحال هكا، ما عرفتش حاجه الا ما سعى، فهمتيني؟ which means in English that a man doesn't have those have only what he wants. A man those have only what he wants. He didn't say doesn't have only what he wants. He does have only what he wants. So in another meaning, a man is limitless, but he cannot rise above what his self-image. Basically, like the self-image is what God mentioned here. Here what the God mentioned in this verse. And you remember when I said that a small verse have broader meanings, because this verse have context of the subconscious and its power, and how the subconscious influence the identity, how the narrative influence the identity, which is also related to the verse. A man cannot like a man only have what he wants. A man can only achieve what he wants. Like, it's not that he choose and not choose, but in the context of what he convince himself that he can achieve and what he cannot. Dr. Maxwell Maltz says a man cannot rise above his self-image. Rise his self-image, you rise his outcomes. And that really makes sense. By regard that I read Psycho-Cybernetics now, I'm now in chapter 4. It really does make sense now when you reread not only the book, but also when you rehearse some, literally just some random verses that you have in your mind about the Quran or any book. Even Jesus talks about that topic as well in the Bible. The second point that I want to make here is, yeah, like as a side note, that explains why God will put people in hell, but he will not put angels in heaven. And at the same time, he'll put jinn at hell. Because the common thing between jinn and the ins, jinn and humans, is they have will. They have will, you know. They have the will, you know. Although God created them, although God says that I'm the only person that I created a person is to worship me, but not in the sense that you're gonna worship me 100%. Like in the day, there's nothing to do because God at the same time created in the human, especially in the human, a desire, a purpose, which is proved that is right by humanists, that a man's purpose that he want to fulfill is to express himself fully, you know. And why did he say a man and not a boy? Although like it doesn't make sense, but I just wanna make it look cool so I can bring the topic that I want to talk about is our life's experiences, our childhood. Because of neuroplasticity, we are more prone to be sensitive. We are more sensitive and we are more likely to capture early childhood experiences compared to teenage, adulthood, 20s and 30s and 40s, and so on. Because of neuroplasticity, but from a religious context, no, not religious context, but from the scientific context, is that's from because neuroplasticity is biological, you know. From the scientific context, is that no psychological context is that, as we said, neuroplasticity is the ability to learn things so early, but the more time passes on, the less capacity we have to memorize, learn things, right? And each one of us have a desire to change, but more of the majority, 99% of people, they have the desire, but they suppress it. And I was one of them, but not anymore. Because of my bad experiences, because I didn't have a masculine figure that not only to cultivate my self-confidence and identity, but also to at least like protects me from bullies and traumas. I cultivated a negative self-identity, you know, and that affected my life completely. It's not just about internal, because internal influence external and not external influence internal. External influence the internal only by permission of you as the operator, but the internal thing influence the external inevitably, like without any invariably, 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 right? And it's like we don't. Most of people don't have the pair of balls. Not they don't have the pair of balls, but it's not they're that dumb, but they are dumb, but they can change. So it's not that they're biologically or genetically dumb, but they can change. But there is just they either don't know or they are just like they fry dopamine receptors that they can just not have feelings of rewardness from the win, delayed gratification activities. The thing that most people are afraid when it comes to change and to live by, because like God is like our father, like um metaphorically, he's a god and he didn't get born and he didn't give birth. He's the creator. There's a difference between the father and the creator. But our creator, a creator all the time wants to see his products winning. The creator creates his products in a way that is not prone to failure, rather it's prone to success, you know. And because, oh my god, as I said, God created his own products, the gene ins angels, for success rather than failure, you know. The only way that you think it is, that is because failure, because of your fucking fucked up environment, but not from God itself. God gave you the choice and you choose to be a bitch whatsoever. Like, what was the point that wanted to make? Um, yeah, like God created his own products in a way that is only prone to success and not to for failure, you know. And that results in his creatures, you know, like the ins, the humans, the jinn, the angels, but most importantly the jinn and the ins. He gave them. Now I want you to imagine that God gave the angels something that is not, that cannot be removed from them, so they don't have will. Basically, that's why angels, they don't have will, and that's why they're not going to be in hell. They won't suffer in hell. But because God gave us and gave jinn willpower and the ability and the gift of deciding and choosing, he gave us freedom. But in the other hand, most of us will enter hell. Why? God is the just of the judges, and he will not mistakenly mistake someone entering him in a door, whether hell or heaven. But only the people who obeys him, who disobey him, doesn't believe in him, will enter hell. Because from another scripture, in like this, I guess it's I'm sure that this one is mentioned in the holy books, that God, before sending us in earth, we saw God and we feel God before we be sent in hell, before been sent in earth, before we were even fucking sperms, like in the high level of consciousness. And we all admitted that God is real and God is the Almighty. But once we were here, like, it won't make sense for you, but fuck you, nigga. When we cultivated some level of consciousness after we grew up, there's people who are gonna enter hell and there's people who are gonna enter heaven. And it is not just because of a matter of choice. Because I'm gonna tell you something. There are points of views, but there are facts. And mistakenly considering facts as points of views or reverse is a big mistake. Because some of us will publicly says that I don't believe in God because I can't feel him. But insidely, the only reason why he doesn't believe in God is because it doesn't match his pleasures or what he wants, you know? So he mistaken, like, I'm gonna mention some. This was my biggest fear when I was young. I remember from when I was early on in life, when I saw people talking about things like, you know, the FOMO, fear of missing out. So, like, people, you hear people talking about something that you don't know, and just like say, oh my god, what they talking about? Like, sure, it's not math subjects or school, but just random things, maybe a TV show that everyone talks about and cartoons, and you don't know, and you feel like, I need to find this one. I need to find this one. You know, just like Naruto when I was young, and I was seeing all people like finish Naruto, and I was so young, I didn't know even how to fucking open Naruto in a fucking TV or a fucking PC. But I promised myself that when I'm gonna grow up, I'm gonna watch and finish Naruto. When I'm gonna grow up, I'm gonna play and finish GTA San Andreas, which hopefully I did. I did when I was 15, 16, you know. Why did I mention this one? Fuck. I mentioned this one because wait, bitch, hold on, here, bitch, yeah, hold on, oh, bitch, yeah. So as I said, this is why God gonna make people who doesn't obey him suffer so much, who doesn't believe in him, although they met him. Now I don't have, and you don't have, no evidence that we met God, but I and you can agree, whether you admit it and you grab your pair of balls and say, yeah, I can feel this, although I was wrong, but I feel the same way and not gonna be like an idiot. You can sense that feeling that not you need the parents, but Like, sure, like, we cannot live without God, you know? Like, sure, you're living without God, you're fucking watching porn and this stuff, but you cannot resist, you cannot, like, be calm. You cannot, like, be patient. You cannot, like, stay resilience when the idea of dying after death appears. Not only that, like, I'm not saying that because, like, oh, there is heaven, so if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna enter heaven. No, I'm not saying that out of this, but if this all the things that you fucking see doesn't have no fucking creator. Like, sure, if you were a disabled person who has Down syndrome, you're gonna enter heaven. But if you were a motherfucker who's a fucking conscious man, but you don't read books, and not only that, you're making decision based on a fucking failure type of personality, and you're making decision, you're going to enter to hell invariably, and you deserve, and you say to yourself after dying, yes, I deserve to enter in hell. Why? Because I was addicted to porn. I did much ton of fucking mistakes. I don't have a night routine. I don't have a morning routine. I don't have a routine. I don't have goals. I don't have nothing. And all of those things. And I knew that I needed to cause a change. But I didn't want to because Mark Zuckerberg gave me Facebook. Schwarzenegger gave me porn. My government gave me fucking seed oils and food shit to pleasure up myself. And searching for the truth, it just seems like a fucking waste of time. There is no fucking doubt that you will enter hell. And God is the justice of the just of us. He's the fucking ruler. He knows more than we do about ourselves. You might 3 months ago, for example, me, I wanted to receive 6 books, but because I was traveling of something that is occasional, I didn't like I didn't submit the receipt. Like, I said no, I don't want it anymore, and I regret it because when I came to my city and I asked again, they fucking said no, you won't take it back because you wasted our money. Although I'm a good client for them, I buy for them books many times, and that just like makes me feel like weird, you know, like fuck man. You know, like, I missed that opportunity. I wish that I didn't do that. But really, God chose for you before you choose for yourself. And I'm worried for that happen because if I bought those 6 books, I would waste too much time and I wouldn't fucking break free from porn only after reading that book. There is a time when I was like fucking having my phone and taking notes, and through that notes on my phone, I was writing them down on my fucking notepad. And one day, my WhatsApp was full of storage, and all the chats got deleted, and I felt like fucking I wasted money. It's like my capital of money wasted because I put too much hard work writing down on that fucking autistic. I'm gonna show it right now to you. Wait, I'm gonna show you right now, my boy. I just see my heart like, bro, I want you to imagine a fucking I don't know if you know some autistic guy like me, but bro, can you say something? Like, can you say something, bro? Like, can you say something, bro? Like, bro, can you say something? Like, you see all those things? I'm gonna show you what are they exactly. Like, you see all that shit, bro? Wait, hold on. You see all that shit, bro? I was like, I'm gonna show you when I created this one. I created this one in fucking daily notebook. I was writing this shit in a daily basis on November 27, 2024 to track daily tasks, reflect on progress, and identify areas for improvements. Like, I was fucking, like, I was doing many mistakes which are not being essential on one thing, because you cannot be balanced and achieve balance. You need to be imbalanced and achieve balance, you know. You cannot fucking build the business and quit porn and fucking learn how to market your videos whilst you didn't fucking even quit porn. So you need to fucking be focused on the first thing so you can do the other steps, you know. Like, it's so fucking brain dead. Like, I want you to imagine how fucking autistical this was, bro. Like, literally each fucking symbol has a fucking meaning, bro. I was a fucking bro. I want to like this shit is not fucking drawings. They're fucking like, see, bro. they're fucking like this sound like I just got burned out. I didn't want to do that shit anymore. And I said like, welcome nigga, a fresh start, you know, but it wasn't for so long. Yeah. What I've learned today is I need to make some adjustments. So like fucking, I was so fucking autistical about shit, bro. Like I didn't learn nothing from those things. In fact, I was just wasting my time. Like I was coping with my uncertainty about whether I'm gonna quit porn or not, and that's why I created that thing so I can say, "Oh God, please, I don't know how to quit porn. So if I do this, can you trade it? Can you trade my hard work by giving you by I'm gonna do all this hard work, and please like make me quit porn, you know?" But God was so merciful for me so much that it's like I didn't have fucking money, and I said that, and came to you and I said like, oh please, I'm gonna give you this PC and please give me one piece of meat, please, I need to feed my family, and you just fucking gave me like houses and fucking farms to take care of, and you're gonna pay me. This is how God really treats me. But I couldn't understand that at first after I got deleted all my messages, all my like those notes that I was taking. I was cultivating them in a daily basis, in a weekly basis, and I'm writing down in each Sunday. Literally, I was going to put too much effort for little fucking shit, you know. But you know what? When that happened, when I lose all my media, what I said, God knew that I was not bitching out, but God knew that I was just like fucking repeating a cycle that will never end without his fucking um without his adjustments, without his own adjustments. Can you get it? God doesn't have time. He lives in the present and in the future and in the past. That's why in the Quran he talks about the future and in the past and in the present at the same time. Like God is so marvelous. Holy fuck. Especially that thing that he gave us, this mind, and how the subconscious works, and how he prone that little piece of meat in your brain to actually like achieve goals. And you are the operator of it. And the term of you are the operator means that God gave you the will, and he gave Jinn the will as well. But he didn't give it to his angels. But all they didn't give them to the angels, but there's no angel that's gonna enter hell, because all of them, they only do what God wants them to do. But we human and jinn, we have the the will that God gave us, the subconscious, not the subconscious, but rather the servo mechanism, you know. And this is why also, as a side note, animals when they're gonna die, they won't enter no hell and no heaven. They will just, what Ace is gonna think that will happen, they will just boom, vanish. They're gonna turn into dust. So it's not a matter of it's either you're gonna enter hell or heaven. There is what we know that a human where they're gonna enter, and the jinn and the angels and the animals, and only God knows the other creations that we don't know. Holy fuck! I really hope that I gave you some consciousness here. Probably you've been distracted all the day, and probably you step upon this fucking Moroccan third world country shit that he's talking about. Let me see how Moroccans behave and talk. And the reason why animals would not enter no hell and no heaven is because animals doesn't have consciousness, and at the same time they are not operator of their desires. They sure have decisiveness. They have like the desire to choose, but they cannot distinguish between what's good and what's not, what's right and what's not, what's positive and what's negative. So what they the decision that they made is based on subconsciousness, but the decision that we as human made is based on consciousness and subconsciousness. So animals have lust and have all those things, but an animal can fuck his mother, an animal can fuck his, no, probably animals doesn't have even have those fucking homosexual things, because as God told us, animals, every single second they worship God. But it's just that we cannot understand. Like, if you're I don't know if like Suleiman is mentioned in the Bible, but there's this prophet in Islam that his name is Suleiman. He gave him the gift of the jinn can the jinn, like, not worshiping, but they they give loyalty to Suleiman. Like, so Suleiman, whatever he gives as a operation, they do it. And God gave Suleiman the power of control the, like, the the weather, not the weather like when it's gonna rain, but the wounds, the wound. And he was able to talk with animals as well. He was able to communicate with animals and with instincts. Damn. So I think I got off the topic so far. What I was talking about was the fact that many of us have the desire to change, but we are afraid of other people's gaze, because we are afraid of what they're gonna say about us. And that's why most people change when they change their environment, when they change where they were living. Instead of their parents, they move to the new city. Why they told you go to move to the new city? Why they told you to try different things, discover the different things? Because it's not about the different things that you will discover or the city that you will go. It's about how much potential you have, yet you didn't realize that until now, until you been safe from other people's gaze. And you can do that in people's gaze as well, just by not giving a fuck, because people will not give a fuck about you. Will rather fucking say shit about you if you're trying to make a dream alive. Once you achieve that dream, they all fucking obey you, they all fucking respect you. But in that fucking bitter spot, no one is going to like you. You will be ugly, and I will be uglier as well. And thus, God, when He created, especially jinn and ins, it's like when you see a father in the stadium, that his kid playing football. Just look at his reaction. Just look at his facial expressions. It's so fucking exciting, enthusiasm, and many positive feelings. It's the same way God feels about us when we don't look with a sad, with a worried, anxiety face, and with a bad posture, or with negative self-identity. No, but if that's right, then why God chose us to be like that? Because if God gave us what we wanted from the first place, our desires, which He knows. What's the point of us being in here? Sure, we will worship Him, but it's like you're doing something, but you don't know why you're doing it from the first place, just because everybody does it. Sure, there's people who are like that, but true Muslims, true religious people, who are not also only cultivating their religious comprehensions, but reading books so they can read the verse and understand why God did that specific thing in that specific time, why God did do that thing to my life in that specific time. Because if I'm gonna talk about how much grateful for God entering Him and giving me this fucking life, I won't fucking stop talking. I'm just gonna fucking surpass my fucking night routine. I gotta fucking do my night routine now. It's just so fucking marvelous how God, is so fucking creative, limitless creativeness. Holy fuck, I'm I'm not being offensive, but I'm not feeling like arrogance. But I understand God more than most of y'all do. Most of the motherfuckers with the fucking beard knows, you know. Really, like, if you ask them who is God, they will tell you that God is everything. But when you're gonna ask them what is God, they're just gonna fucking shut up. And when you're gonna talk about them about the frequencies, how the frequency heal us, and this, so they're gonna tell you this. You are kafir. I don't know. But why they're gonna tell you that you're kafir? Because you're knowing something that only God knows. But it is that not God what He said to us to do. God, He gave us things that we can know and things that we cannot know. And the things that we can know is things that are for us because God have gave us. It's not fucking God. He's left His money here and we stole it. God put that there for a reason, and the only reason why most of the majority believe that we should not read books because God gave us the fucking Quran is because of the authority that control us, that tell us that, because they know that if we read Quran just after we fucking born out of fucking our mom's pussy, we won't understand shit. We were just sure we're gonna recite some Quran, we're gonna pray time to time, but we will not feel that connection, the connection that I'm feeling now. Now I'm feeling, I'm really scared because I did some bad shit recently, but I'm really like feeling God, like I'm feeling Him, you know, like the oxygen that I'm breathing, I'm not breathing oxygen, I'm breathing consciousness. Consciousness is God's leftovers. So we can know he's like his previous foot, is the prior foot. Like when someone walks, he left his like foot spots. These things are his loose spots, so we can look for him. And by us not obeying him, by not us not fucking believing him or believing on him, we deserve the almighty suffering, the almighty hell. Something that I want to mention as well is people who know about Islam but they don't know what is real Islam, they won't enter hell. But this is not a full reason why not to enter not to search for Islam, because if you search for Islam then you will be fucking guaranteed to do those things and this stuff. Because the mere fact of that if you didn't read Quran, then it means that you won't be responsible for hell or heaven. It is enough of argument that means Quran and God exists, and by you not doing deliberated work to search for him, you're being a bitch and you deserve hell. I've never imagined myself I will be this level of intellectualness. All of my life I was the dumb kid, the fat kid that is in cartoons that everybody fucking make fun of him because he's fat and he's like getting angry. Although I wasn't getting angry because I didn't have a masculinity figure, so I can't say shit back to people. I was just like this fucking fat, kind person who just treats everybody good, not because he's kind, but he's because he doesn't want to get hurt from people and he's trying to do good so people would do good for him as well, or at least won't hurt him. And God didn't create me for that sake. Yeah, but why if you think so, then why God put you in that situation? Because He wants you to be like that? No. Because He wants you to learn something. And most importantly, to understand that there is invariably a fucking creator a programmer that programmed this fucking simulation that we're living in. That is God. And from that source, you start looking for Him and understanding Him. The more you understand God, the less your anxiety be, because you understand that whatever thing comes out to you in front of you, and whatever thing happens to you in your life, it is not a failure moment. It is an opportunity to learn, or something that God wants you to learn for the sake of the goal that you put to achieve. Because we put goals to achieve, long goals, but in the way we face milestones, we face like breaks that we need to break through, that like some boundaries, and we need to break through them so we can achieve our goals. They're not like just things to, so who really wants it that bad he will achieve it, or no. It is by it is a mediocrity to understand that there is invariably a creator for this world. There is invariably, you see, when you play a video game and you pass by level 1, level 2, level 3, and let's say for example you surpass it until level 90, and you look back for all the things you passed through, you notice that all the things were chained. They were chained in, everything was in purpose in that specific place, because it's complementing each one, and each one, and each one, and each one, until you become in the level 90. But most importantly, the person you become, in the level of faith that you have in God. The same thing in life. You don't need even to think about it. That person who fucking created that game was in life, and how can fucking he created a fucking thing like that without fucking life, without fucking getting inspired? Because if he's just born as a normal human being without this fucking world, without all this fucking like limitless things that we cannot comprehend because we are limited people, he wouldn't fucking create a video game that is in that chained way, in that intellectual way, without being through some experience, without being through some boundaries that he needs to surpass through, traumas and shit. If I didn't be myself through those traumas of masculinity, like in masculinity and people fucking me up and this stuff, I wouldn't be where I am. And most importantly, the type of person, level understanding that I have right now, that I showing it to you for free. Like, sure, excuse my manner of voice. I don't speak well, no English well, but don't see my finger like this, and I'm pointing you this thing and you just seeing my finger. Look out for the 20% that gives to your 80%. Look at my words that I'm saying, nigga. No motherfucker imam or fucking sheikh gonna say that shit. Because I've been myself, like I was about to be an atheist. But because I have a big dick, a pair of balls, I said, you know what? I'm addicted to porn, right? And most importantly, I'm a bad person. I'm doing bad habits and I want to change them, but I don't know how to change them. So it doesn't make no sense why to put a judge such as whether God exists or not in this fucking level. Especially that I'm not making fucking money. Does my fucking voice gonna matter if I'm not making money? How can people listen to my fucking points of view if I'm not having money? Who gonna fucking hear me? Or rather, who gonna fucking have the fucking attention to hear me when I'm not someone? I'm just fucking random fucking motherfucker who married a fucking 4 out of 10 and working a shitty job out fucking military and going to the gym, and he has a fucking shitty physique, and going to younger people and telling them, oh, you know, when I was younger age, I was lifting that weight and that weight, and I was fucking this woman and this woman, and I fucked Angelina Jolie, and I fucked fucking who else? Iranian woman and Persian woman. Someone who's gonna talk about only his past success but not his present or future goals. Why? Because he lose them all. I don't want to be that person, and most importantly, you don't want to be too. And thus, it doesn't make no sense why to put such a fucking vital decision, decisive decision on whether God exists or not. Yeah, but it is just an idea, it's just a point of view, but it's not. It's not. It's not. Imagine you're a fucking mother or a fucking father and your kid. Like, sure, like you stayed with him until he grew up. You're not some fucking person who make his kid fatherless, but you paid money and you fucking been happy seeing him grow and this stuff. And it's not that something happened to you and he doesn't talk to you anymore, or he just like out of humor saying that you're not my father, but really actually meaning it. How are you gonna feel? You're just a fucking human. You just, the only thing that you did is not created that son, but just fucking your wife and born that kid. You'll feel huge pain, and God doesn't feel pain. God doesn't feel pain. Yet He created you. Not only created you, and fucking the only thing that you're grateful for is how good you look at the mirror, but the things that you're able to do, how your brain functions, how fucking you don't know all the things about your brain, yet you're alive. It's like you're fucking driving a fucking mysterious, it's just like a fucking driving a mysterious vehicle and spontaneously fucking in a perfect way you know how to play it. Look at football players. You're gonna just see like legs that kick footballs, right? They just ask themselves how they can fucking use their ears and their eyes to see and to calculate the fucking the speed of the air so they can how they can balance the football. So you're gonna just say like I'm just doing it like boom boom. I balance the ball, but really like think the mechanisms, the functional, the cognitive mechanisms that control not this and this. This control this all of this. In fact, if you only focus on visualization, this is why focusing only on visualization in a task is going to give you far more better results than just fucking doing the thing mindlessly. Because if you're doing something and you're not knowing whether yes or no you can achieve that thing, it is contradictory. And most of the time, the minus wins the plus, which means your identity will win against what you're doing. Because you're gonna say, yo, motherfucker's gonna say, yeah, I'm learning on discipline and this stuff, but don't be a bitch and use discipline as a coping mechanism of your uncertainty. Sure, God gonna help you in this stuff, but as God said, a man cannot rise above his self-image. No, as God said, like a man is only able to achieve what he wants. You gotta believe in that thing before it happens externally. It means internally, then it can result externally. You need to show your brain that goal in your brain, your subconscious that is God given by God will make you steer up to that goal. What I'm gonna say, I hope this video go viral. I hope this video go viral, bro. I swear to God. Holy fuck, like a fucking third world country Moroccan ass boy, 17 years old. No, I'm 21. 21 fucking years old, fucking motherfucker who fucking what? Talking about shit that people from first world country cannot even understand or comprehend. You're just so fucking crazy. You never see a fucking Moroccan guy, like it's 1% you're gonna see a fucking Moroccan guy like me in a third world country talking in that manner, in this level of consciousness and self-reflection. And if you learn something through what I'm saying, and if you're interested in what I'm saying, I'm not gonna bitch out. This is the book that I read, that I'm currently reading. And reading books without having experience and using feedback has no you will not improve you. Only if you use that feedback to better your next rep. Love you and support you.